here as we have two rivals ready for a rendezvous that they hope will wind up with the dreamland of stuffing their face with a delicious rack of ribs. On the move from inside his 5. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. The Blazers offense will have the football first. Guys, can you even fathom how motivating it is to have a giant rack of ribs awaiting the victor, as there is in the Memphis UAB game? And while these two are proud of their barbecue, it was Memphis who poured on the sauce and absolutely roasted UAB the last time they met.
Two fan bases that care about their football and their ribs. Is it dry rub if you're Memphis, or is it Alabama White Sox if you're UAB? Either way, you got to finish this game, David, if you're UAB. Last year had a lead in the fourth quarter, and they gave it away.
It was ugly. It ended up being 53-18, and UAB with 4 turnovers in that football game. You lose the turnover battle by 4, you don't win very many games.
Catch in the middle, it's Ferguson. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. They knew they could slip that tight end behind the backers with that play-action fake.
Well, it's because I can't win, Reese. I have to play the run. You know, all these RPOs, all these different things, it makes me come up and use my eyes and play run. And these tight ends are so valuable to find space behind. Knew where he was going with the football the whole time because the big fella, he's always open.
Catch in the middle, it's Milner. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
Man, it's so important when you play QB. I got to know when to put some air on it, and I got to know when to rocket that thing in there. Work in the middle of the field. He knew he needed the rocket, threw it in there. Great job, great catch.
Gives it on the option. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
And the Blazers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Gets the back moving. Looking downfield, it's Kitna. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. He lobs one high down the left side. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
That's one thing this defense takes a lot of pride on. They like tackling the catch, and they like being around the ball. That time, he was in proximity to knock that thing loose. Nice physical play.
The Blazers send out the punt unit. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. The Tigers offense will get the ball for the first time. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Caught over the middle, it's Thompson. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Looking for a physical attack from the gun.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The Tigers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Lewis wants to pass. Makes the grab. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
I love the QB here. He holds it, he holds it, he holds it just long enough to let the receiver run the drag route, and then he puts it out in front of him so he can catch it on the run in stride and then turn upfield to use his speed.
The Tigers are on the move. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Makes it past the marker. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. You could win a lot of trivia challenges if you ask how long's it been since Memphis had a losing season. They've reeled off 11 straight winning campaigns, and Ryan Silverfield does it without big-time recruits.
No, but he has got great balance on offense. Very, very creative on that side of the football. And over the years, whoever's been the head coach in play call, that's one thing they've seemed to do. They're a very, very tough out year in, year out.
Explosive offense. That's what you always expect. No matter who plays, come and go, these offenses are always fun to watch, high-flying, and put up a bunch of points.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. He caught it. And a good pickup there. They'll move the sticks for a first down. Let's see if they try to get another snap before the quarter expires. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Based on that, we can hope to see a little more offensive explosion here in the second quarter as we get ready to get things started. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. With the run on 1st and goal. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They marched 72 yards, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. UAB regains possession of the Blazer offense back onto the field. Going to the ground. They're trying to put something, anything together to get that goose egg off the scoreboard down 7-0. These two first played in football in 1997, but the rivalry goes much farther back than that. Gene Bartow took Memphis to a Final Four in the early 70s, started the basketball program at UAB in the late 70s, and they became big rivals on the court.
Reese Davis, ladies and gentlemen, giving us the background of game day basketball and game day football. Nicely done with the stats, but huge rivalry game. They don't like each other. Apparently, Jesse, they do like their barbecue, though.
They do love their barbecue, and 1997 is not that long ago. I was playing college football.
They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Caught in the backfield, it's Ferguson. He'll get it up to the 39 before he's run out of bounds, and this offense just patiently, methodically trying to do work. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Blazers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. To the air, it's Kitna. Throws to the wideout. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. The Blazers line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. He'll keep it on the sneak. And he scoots his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit. You know, sometimes rivalry trophies really have no connection to anything like the little brown jug or the old brass spittoon. But at a rack of ribs, 2 cities proud of their barbecue heritage, rendezvous against Dreamland and Full Moon. I mean, doesn't get better than a trophy like this.
No, there aren't many trophies out there that you actually want to eat. Is it dry rub if you're Memphis, or is it Alabama white sauce if you're UAB? Take your pick. That is one good-looking trophy.
I don't even know what any of that means. I literally don't. I don't eat ribs. I don't eat pork. But I do know that that's a big frickin' trophy. And one of these teams want to win it.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Here comes the heat. On the run, fires downfield. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
One thing this defense always talks about is getting off the field. Last drive, they forced a punt. Here on 3rd down, what a great job flying to the football, getting a hit, forcing an incompletion. They may be jogging off here soon again.
They kick it away on 4th down. Hauls it in and looking upfield. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Finds enough room to get 3 out to the 34.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Gets it past the 1st down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
Now from the 48-yard line, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back has it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have any.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Lewis to throw. Right on the money. And it'll be a pickup of 9. They're facing a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's a nice job by the defender. They're closing the gap with the wide receiver. They're going to complete the hitch pass, but he's able to run right up on him, get him to the ground for a minimal gain.
And the Tigers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. To the ground to try to move the chains. Breaks into the open. That'll be enough for the 1st down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line.
And this offense is clicking, everything's moving, and the guy carrying the football, I mean, he is carrying the rock. Like, this is a guy he's setting this tone for this game, creating some balance on this offense. This offense is going to be a handful.
Yeah, David, I'd love to sit here and say, well, the offensive coordinator is just one step ahead of his counterpart across the field. That's not it. Right now, his offensive line is establishing the line of scrimmage, and you mentioned the back. He right now is running with authority on this drive.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be third down.
That play had 6 written all over it, but he drops it in the end zone. Bad break for the offense.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. Lewis wants to pass. Going for 6. Touchdown Tigers! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. They took it 71 yards down the field, and they capped things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Finds a little space. May not be the most memorable play of the day, but it's important as he gets them out to the 25-yard line. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, in a rivalry filled with magical moments, even more here today between the Tigers and Blazers. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis. And through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. Still 2 quarters to go in this battle for the bones, a treasured trophy in both Memphis and Birmingham.
And the Blazers will kick it off to start the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Memphis has the ball back and the offense ready to go to work. They opened this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
got it behind the line. It's Smith. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Offenses want to get the ball to their playmakers really fast, and they try to throw the wide receiver screen, but how about the defender? He was right there in his space, got him on the ground as soon as he caught it. He was ready for that
play. Lewis to throw. Fires to the big fella. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. They were really hopeful he could make a guy or two miss and pick up the first down, but he comes up a little short.
Yeah, and it's great defense. It's defense understanding where the sticks are, not missing tackles, getting the guy on the ground quickly. Really nice job by the defense understanding the situation.
They punted away on fourth down. Books it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Got it in the middle. It's hooked. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
And if you had any questions about this quarterback's arm talent, now you've got your answer. Wow.
They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. Now the play fake. Snagged in the middle, it's Ferguson. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. There's not a lot more beautiful in football than the play action and the open tight end.
Yeah, because it freezes those linebackers. It freezes those safeties because they have to come up for a second and play the run. And then the big tight ends, big targets on the back end can catch the football and make big plays.
Quickly to the tight end. Steps out of bounds just inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 18.
Oh, that just really nice catch by the big tight end. Throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
The Blazers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He'll pull it on the read. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback. Reading the defense, there's nobody there taking him, so he puts his foot in the ground, he gets upfield, and he's got really nice elusiveness once he's out in the open field. He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
Grabbed in the middle, it's Jackson. Good throw and catch, takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Off the play fake. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
Perfect execution by this defense. They played pass, sat back, looked at the quarterback, took everything away, and even better, good pass rush, finishes it, now put him in a predictable 3rd and long situation.
Now 3rd and goal, and tough yardage to cover here. Motion from the back. 3rd and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
And that's a good job by this defense, man. You drop back, you play really smart, play sound. Understand, there's not a lot of field to cover, and they couldn't fit the ball in a window. Good pass defense.
And on 4th down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. Are forced to settle for the field goal.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Complete to start this drive. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Lewis wants to pass. Flips it out on the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. And the shot play downfield falls harmlessly to the turf, and we've played 3 quarters. We've reached the break, and Memphis is holding on to the lead and sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. Memphis will send the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. UAB has the ball back, ready to send the offense out to go to work. Got a man, it's Hooks. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the first down. Good start to this drive, and they'll need much, much more if they're going to give them a finish.
They need a ton more of this, but you got to start the drives great. The first play needs to be really good. That was a good start. Now we got to keep building on it, and we got to do it in a hurry.
Fires toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And I understand the logic by the offense here. Obviously, you're down in this game. You're trying to claw back into it. Why not take a shot? Why not be aggressive in that time? They just can't come up with a completion.
So now it's 2nd and long. From the gun, running back gets to give. Maybe a 3-yard pickup there. 3rd and long coming up.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
To the air, it's Kitna. Setting up the screen. Spins away from the defense. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18. They absolutely had to have that 3rd down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get to 3rd down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
They'll throw it from the red zone. Under fire. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
All right, offense has got to be better. You've done a nice job getting the football to this point in the red zone, but now you can't go backwards. You've got to be able to get rid of the football if it's not there, and that was a terrible play giving up the sack.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Under fire. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
And, man, this defense added again. They've done this so much today. Affected the quarterback, gotten sacks, forced 3rd and long situations. It doesn't matter about the yards on the drive. Now you've put them in a very predictable passing situation.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier. Throws toward the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
And so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. RPO complete to open the drive. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
Defense, man, it helps you a lot when you can be a linebacker or a corner or safety, anybody, and you see the QB throw the football. Now I can break on the football right away and limit gains like right here on this play.
Just enough there to get it to the 25, a pickup of 2. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. Lewis to throw. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
We've seen this offense click and hum, and it's not clicking, and something's a little bit off, and I like the deep shot down the field. At least it wasn't an interception, but they got to find a way in this O to manufacture some first downs and some passing yards because everything's been difficult today.
Punt is on its way. Here's the return. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. The handoff as they run the counter play here. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And that 2-minute drill, man, you're searching for those first downs. You got to find them. Sometimes it's a run, sometimes it's a screen. Whatever it is, they choose to run the football here. Still time, but we're still in that hurry-up situation.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle. It's Milner. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
Now it's a first down from the 43-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's hooked. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
Really nice job by quarterback and wide receiver. This is why you do film work. This is why you throw on air all off season. I know I get zone coverage. I know exactly where I'm breaking. I know exactly where to deliver the football. Nice throw, nice catch.
Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle. It's hooked.
Man, this is such a hard situation. That clock is your enemy, and you've got to push the ball down the field. But you know the defense is dropping back, so you can take the underneath stuff and go to your 2nd and 3rd read some, but we got to stay aggressive.
And the Blazers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Dropping back, it's Kitna. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Yeah, it's hard. This is the hardest time because you got to have plays and you got to have scripts because you know they're sitting back with all the DBs on the field in a dime package playing pass. How can we get first downs? How can we complete passes and get out of bounds to try to save some of this clock as we move the ball down the field?
They'll try to get the first through the air. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. That's the way this defense wanted to wrap it up. Make a play themselves, finish off the game, and the offense can kneel it out from here. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. And the quarterback takes the snap and kneels down. Appropriately, the 100-pound rack of ribs will find a home in Memphis after the Tigers take down UAB in the Battle of the Bones. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.